Revenge of the Democrats? Probably so. So Rudy Giuliani's New York law offices have been disbarred, so he can no longer practice law in New York, which is probably the revenge for what happened with the debate and the Supreme Court's decision on Trump not going to jail. So whether or not you like any or hate these candidates, let me tell you about Rudy Giuliani from my memory and looking at news when I was a kid. Now, Rudy Giuliani, this is I'm laughing at him. Yeah, I don't. Now they're making fun of him because of his bad black hair dye and shit. Um, I remember Rudy Giuliani when he was alleged to have an affair on his wife back in the '90s. Probably did. Who knows? That's neither here or there. Nobody's fucking perfect. People get married for whatever reason, and they said, "Oh shit, I no longer do that." Calling him Crazy Rudy. And then I remember when his son was making fun of him. His son, I think, is doing something productive now. But I remember when his son was mocking him when he was on stage with I think with a baseball cap on, and then his son was like imitating everything he was doing. And that was another thing. So Rudy Giuliani was known here or there for a couple of things. Then 9/11 happened, and everybody conveniently forgets this. 9/11 happened. Now, whether 9/11 was a product of our mistakes or solely that of bin Laden or a combination thereof, nobody really knows. But so many conspiracy theories go around about that. But the end result was thousands of people died in those two towers. And that also includes first responders. So when I think of Giuliani, I think of those things. And then he became Trump's lawyer. How dare he? How dare he become Hitler's lawyer? That's what everybody would be thinking. And it was problematic when the 2020 elections were up for question. I still question it. I can't say for sure. I mean, I think YouTube still does not allow people to say that it's fake or it's fraud, but something suspicious happened. A lot of suspicious isolated incidents happened. And I'm not sure if Giuliani was involved in striking down those. The it might have been somebody else's team, but I think it was Lena Haba. But for the when Trump was name was trying to, they were trying to take Trump's name off the ballot, and she put it back on. It's like, hey, and Michigan, and speaking of Michigan, was all too happy to cooperate, keeping Trump's name on the ballot. But they were one of the people that Giuliani had to go after. And I watched that 5 hour right side broadcasting. I watched those entire 5 hours. Those entire 5 hours where uh, you saw those clowns. Forget whether or not you think there's fraud. Those people in Michigan look like fucking clowns. If that's the best Michigan can offer, Michigan can go fuck off. There have to be better people representing that state. So hopefully that's in a better state than it was 4 years ago. But um, yeah, I'm always going to think of him as the guy that defended New York when the worst happened, 23, and they would not have dared arrested the man. They could not arrest that man on the anniversary of September 11th. You try doing that bullshit, you see the backlash of it too far too. Even the Democrats, as shady as they are, and when I say the Democrats, I don't mean all Democrats. I mean most of them. There are dinos. There were people like Bill Richardson, Tulsi Gabbard, um, John. I forgot one of Martin Luther King's men. John, I forget his name. The representative. He passed away. There were a lot of good Democrats who just wanted to keep the peace. They wanted diversity. They wanted to keep up Roe v. Wade, but they wanted to keep it peace. Those Democrats that weren't trying to waste their time going after Trump for X amount of reasons that would just get thrown away in court, I don't hate them. I don't think they're shit. Um, all they have is these cringe photos. Um, let's see. This one says Rudy has been disbarred after a court found that he repeatedly made false statements about Donald Trump's 2020 election loss. You know what? Those suspicious things that were happening, and one of the other, besides the statement I read to you about my last YouTube video about politics, There was another suspicious amount of buckets that they were pulling out of the tables, which is all circumstantial, of course. But that looked weird too. That was in Georgia, was it not? Georgia was the cock of the whole thing. Michigan may have been the balls, but Georgia was the cock. It was like, holy shit, look at all this stuff that they're doing. So, no, I don't blame Giuliani or Jenna Ellis. I don't know where Jenna Ellis is in her state of mind of affairs, but that's shit. So no, it's not that Trump does not ruin every life he touches. These people, the shitty court, the kangaroo courts, the system of Democrats, these same Democrats that were trying to put away a Supreme Court justice for Me Too. He raped a woman 40, 50 years. I knew that was bullshit. When I saw Judge John Kavanaugh go up there and he was pissed, he looked genuinely pissed. Now, was the man a drunk? Probably, but the guy did not, I feel the guy did not do it. Okay. And you're supposed to go with the popular opinion of what everybody says on television and and like CNN, big cable network, big tech cable, and don't listen to YouTubers. And there are some crazy YouTubers. Okay. I will say that of all the people that for sure will talk shit the most or grift the most probably would be Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy Griggs. The difference is that Jeremy Griggs started out as a guy who loved Disney, who loved to trash talk the fan base, and then slowly, like Anakin Skywalker, when he was a good Jedi, he slowly turned to the dark side of things. It took him a long time because he wanted to believe there were some good Democrats. I still do, but he's kind of demonized them all. I say that there are there are some Democrats that are out there looking for people like us. Gavin Newsom's kept Nancy Pelosi's nephew's kept his mouth shut, but he's an idiot. Antonio Villaraigosa. Um, I I do believe our current LA mayor, she is Democrat, but it's all for her. It's about publicity. I think I don't like it. Like I would tell Rosario Dawson, we'll praise her for her race and being and gender when she steps up to being the mayor. We'll treat her like such. But when she screws up as the mayor, we'll treat her like any old white male mayor, okay? Because if you screw up as the mayor, we'll treat you like any old white mayor. We don't give a damn. Um, he says here, this is an hour ago. I'm not surprised that I've been disbarred by a bar association, which is a politically and ideologically integral part of the Democratic one party corrupted court system for a long time. Okay, let's look at this. We're going to end it on his tweet. We got to end it on this tweet. Let's go ahead and look. Judges like Merchan and Engoron in New York City are selected by local Democrat bosses. These judges are, just like in a one-party communist dictatorship, are not really elected but selected by the Democrat local bosses and often run unopposed. Yeah, that happens. That the case is based on an activist complaint replete with false arguments. A hearing officer who has a former judge from the same corrupt Democrat selection process, and a tape with almost one-fourth of the most official parts erased and covered up by either the chief New York bar prosecutor and his staff or the Secretary of State of Georgia. I feel like there's more to this statement. Is there more to this statement? So the people are with you. Yeah, this is the more positive picture. Let's see if there's another. I feel like there's more to this. But my feeling is, can we, oh, whatever. If there's more to this, there's more to this, but I can't. Hold on. The more I'll add to this is that even though there have been moves against Giuliani to take him out of his law offices, it's convenient that this fuckery didn't happen until after the debate and after our current president made a fool out of himself. So how about that? How about that? So yeah, look, here's the other thing I'm going to say too, that I'm sure Jeremy Griggs won't say, that a lot of people on the right won't say. I don't want to see the Republicans in full absolute power. I don't want the dissembling of Roe v. Wade to be that every state's going to dictate no abortion for women. You tell a woman what to do with her body, she'll fuck you up. She don't give a shit. Okay. Um, I don't believe church and state should be dictated by, because what's the church, right? Um, Hawaii still doesn't want guns in their state. There's a lot of things that um, it's there's certain things that some states will not want and some other people will want. Um, yeah, I don't know how that's all going to work out, but having absolute power on either party will kill absolutely. People will not want that. The Democrats are trying to put themselves as being the one group that's absolute, but there is no absolute group. Um, Even when, yeah, look, Obama was not a great president, but he was the first black president, half black. And, but I didn't like it when John Boehner did not agree with him a lot of times. He was always John Boehner, who was the secretary. Now, what is he still working for the tobacco industry? He was debating Obama all the time, everything, undermining everything. And it was just looked like it was just shit. I just didn't like that. I thought that was worse than Obama. It's like, look, you either quit being the Speaker of the House, um, being the Speaker, or you just shut the fuck up and learn to deal with what the president's doing. And what Mike Pence did was worse with Trump. That was way worse. He was the vice president. Um, the You have to listen to your conscience. Okay, if Trump is president, he can restore Giuliani's office, or he can give him an important cabinet position again. But we'll have to see how that goes. All right, stay sane. Whoever you choose, make sure you know why you're choosing that person.